Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, whatever made you choose to do so. I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love and support that I received from my last video, which was DIYs I was making to put into my bathroom makeover, which is what this video is gonna be. I want to acknowledge that home decor or making DIYs and styling your space is not a priority for everyone, and that's okay. You know, I think especially during this time, like during the quarantine and the Black Lives Matter movement and the social injustices and just everything that's going on, I think it's very important to focus on your self-care, your mental health, and maintaining your happiness. And I think that's something that's very overlooked, especially because you have so many other factors that are stressing you out and kind of taking your attention away. But this is one of the most essential things to focus on, because if you're not okay with yourself, if you're not happy, then you can't put your best foot forward in anything else that you do in life. So I think that focusing on your mental health and figuring out things to do that make you happy will be most beneficial to you overall. With that being said, making DIYs, designing my space, planning everything out have really brought me joy during this whole entire time. And so I'm just here to help inspire you to do something that makes you happy and brings you joy. And if you watching my videos brings you that joy, then stay, keep watching, come along with my process. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Don't watch it and find something that makes you happy. I just want to be here to remind you to find something that brings you happiness no matter what is going on in your life. So now that I got that out, this is part 2 of my extreme bathroom makeover, where I will be redesigning and decorating and putting everything into my bathroom. If you are interested, then keep on watching. This is the current state of the bathroom right now, and as you'll see, it's very blue and dull and just has no color to it. The walls were painted blue by the previous owners, and that color is painted all throughout our entire house, and we don't really like it. That's not really our vibe or our style, so we're definitely going to change that with some paint. We also want to take down this mirror. You'll see that all of the fixtures in the bathroom are silver, so we want to kind of update and refresh those. So we're not going to be replacing the sink or the shower or anything, because we just rent this apartment, so we're just gonna have to make it work and incorporate it into our style. The wood color is also this cherry oak color, which isn't my favorite, but again, we only rent this place, so we're not going to be painting that or changing that. We also have this shower organizer that we've had for a couple years, and it's getting kind of run down and rusted and just needs some upkeep and a cleaning and a good spray paint. And I also have these sticky notes on the mirror that I'm placing it with one of the DIYs that I made in my last video. Before I start redecorating a space, I always like to create a mood board or like an inspiration board. Well, I put all of the inspiration that I found or products that I want or decor items that I want to put in a room, and I put it all in one space to really make sure it all looks well together and that I have a clear view of what I'm going to be using as a template for my design. And so as you can see, for this design, I kind of wanted to keep it very bright, very airy, a lot of natural wood elements and black contrasting to it. So you'll see that the shelves are wood, but the brackets are black, and I kind of really like that in both of the inspiration pictures that I have found. I also wanted to bring in a lot of warm colors, like in this terracotta pot and in this rug that I found at Target. I wanted to incorporate those very warm, reddy orange colors, but I also wanted to have some gold accents. So you'll see that in this mirror, and I want to incorporate a lot of plants, just a lot of life to the bathroom. The bathroom is naturally pretty small, so I wanted to kind of brighten it up and make it appear bigger. I also wanted to incorporate a pegboard, you'll see in this design, and kind of hang like our toilet paper and our towels and things like that on the wall to really utilize storage of the wall. Now what I'm going to be doing is taking everything out of the bathroom that we have right now just to have a blank slate to really just start redesigning the space. I'm also going to be taking down these towel racks, and I keep all of those items in a bag together, and so that when we move out I know that this goes to this bathroom. I can just put it right back up. So we're going to be painting the bathroom this kind of off-white creamy color. The color underneath the blue was this same color. I just cut out a 1x1 inch from the wall and I took it to Lowe's and got it color matched. And I wanted to paint the bathroom this same color just to kind of brighten it up because the bathroom is naturally just really small. So I thought that this would really help to kind of brighten and open up the space to make it appear a lot larger than what it really is. So I gave this bathroom about 2 to 3 coats and I just kind of painted it the whole night. While I was waiting for the paint to dry, I decided to work on creating those shelves. You'll see that these are all of the supplies that I needed to make the shelves. I'll have everything linked in the description box down below that I can link. But what I started to do was I just gave them a good quick clean before I started working on them, and then I started sanding all of the boards down with a 220 grit sandpaper. And I got these boards cut at Lowe's to the exact size that I needed. I wanted it to be 36 inches. And then I gave all of the shelves 2 coats of this natural wood stain. Right after that, I let it dry, and then I gave them 2 coats of the polyacrylic and let it dry overnight. I then took this Rust-Oleum gloss black spray paint that I got from Lowe's, and I spray painted all of the brackets this black color, and I gave them 3 coats of this black spray paint, then let them dry overnight. Hi guys, it's day 2 of the bathroom makeover and all of the painting has been completed. I woke up this morning and did one last coat. This is what it looks like. I'm so excited. The color looks so good. Next, I started to mark off where I wanted to hang the pegboard and the shelves so I can have an idea of where I wanted to place it. And I used my stud finder to find the studs in the wall, marked off where it was at, and then just taped the wall so I could have an idea of the placement. I have this curtain rod that I got from Target probably 2 years ago, and I love it. I think that it's nice and neutral and earthy, and I really like that vibe in a bathroom, but my boyfriend absolutely hates it. So I don't want to buy another shower curtain because I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. My boyfriend just doesn't like the way it looks. I was going to replace it with some curtains that I also have from Target. I bought both of these curtains from Target, but at the time I didn't know that I bought 2 different colors. So you can see that this one is more of a cool toned off-white beigey color, and then this one is definitely off-white cream color. So I was thinking the vibe that I'm going for in here. So what I'm going to do is take this down and then simply replace it with this. These are the new shower curtain. And it kind of falls a little bit at the bottom, but I actually really like that look. Okay, so this is the old shower curtain that used to be in our bathroom. It's just super rusted, if you can tell, and just needs some upkeep. But I don't want to throw it away, so I'm just going to scrub off the rust with some steel wool and spray paint it with the same spray paint that I used for the brackets for the shelves. I use a 1 inch by 4 inch by 6 foot board, and I got it cut down to size. So right now I'm just marking off where I want the pegs to be placed. I wanted them to be 4 inches apart, and then I started placing them on the board so I can see if I liked the spacing in between them. And then taking my 1/2 inch drill bit, I drilled right where I marked off the placement for the shaker pegs. Now this is going to take a little bit of time and pressure. It took me a while to just kind of drill through. So every once in a while I would drill for a little bit and then place the shaker peg in there to see if it fit. You can also tape off your driver bit to the exact point that you need it to go through the wood. It's kind of important to make sure that you keep a very steady hand while you're drilling, because I noticed that when I wasn't drilling straight, it kind of created the holes to be wider than I needed them to be. So I compensated by just filling them up with wood glue, but I do recommend that you try to keep a steady hand when you're drilling, just so that you don't have to run into the issue of the hole being wider than the shaker pegs are. So once I drilled in all of my holes, I took some wood glue and I placed the wood glue in the hole and on the outside of the shaker peg. Now I hammered the shaker pegs in just to get it a tight fit. This is optional, and then clean up the glue around so that there aren't any seeping on the outside. I looked at many tutorials when I wanted to create this peg, and I'll link the tutorial that I used down below for reference. And then once that was done, I cleaned up the wood glue on the back of it just in case any of them seeped out, and I let this dry overnight. The next day I hung up the pegboard and I drilled a pilot hole in the board to make sure that the screw didn't break or crack the board as I was drilling that in, and then I hung it up on the wall. And then I started to hang up the shelf as well with the help of my boyfriend.
In the bin next
downstairs,
right on the floor to your I don't know what that is.
What?
They are kind of high. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to put these down here. I'll be back.
There we go. I fixed it. Now it looks so good. I love the contrast of the black and the natural wood. And I'm going to paint these screws right here black so they can match. Remember how I said that we wanted to replace this mirror in the bathroom, and that me and my boyfriend tried to take this mirror down, but we realized that it was stuck to the wall with these mirror clamps, like it was glued to the wall. And that's when we realized that we couldn't actually take the mirror down. Well, I knew that I just could not live with that mirror like that. So I knew I had to do something to change it. And I remember scrolling through Pinterest and I saw that some people created their own mirror frame. So it's basically just like a picture frame, except rate the frame for your mirror and you attach it to your mirror. Now I rent, so I wasn't going to glue it to the mirror, but I knew that I was going to attach it. So I have a renter-friendly hack on how to create your own mirror frame so that you can make your old, ugly, standard bathroom mirror look cute, but renter-friendly. You can take it down when you leave. So in this next clip, I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute mirror frame. I found this 3/4 inch by 8 foot wood trim from Lowe's, and I thought that it would be the perfect wood to use as the frame for the mirror because it was really thin. And so what I did was I measured out the length of my mirror and then added an extra inch on each side, and I marked off a 45-degree angle on each corner so that they can fit like a picture frame. I marked off on each side, and using my handsaw I cut off edges to make sure that they fit at a 45-degree angle. I then sanded down the edges to make sure that they were smooth. To cut down the opposite side of the wood frame, I just flipped over that same board and measured out the 45-degree angle, and then using my handsaw I cut that piece. Then I placed the wood frame onto the mirror and I attached the sides using these command strips. What you'll notice is that the wood frame will not sit flush against the mirror because if you remember, I have these mirror clips that sit on the outsides of the mirror that kind of hold it to the wall. And so what I had to do was take an X-Acto knife and cut out little notches where the wood clips would be at. I would place the frame on the mirror and I kind of eyeballed the placement of the mirror clips, and I tried to cut out a little notch for them using my X-Acto knife. Now, this was kind of just trial and error. I didn't know how much I needed to cut off. I would just take some off and then place it against the mirror, and if it sat flush then I didn't cut any more off, but if it didn't I kept cutting off until it did. Now I did go in with some wood glue and I glued off the corners together, and then I taped them to make sure that the wood glue would stick and that they would glue perfectly together, and I let that dry overnight. And yeah, that's it. And whenever I have to move, I can just easily take these off because it's just hung up there with some command strips. Today's video, guys. I am so happy with my bathroom. You guys do not understand. I haven't done anything with this place since we moved in a year ago, so now I'm excited. It's motivating me. It's throwing off everything else in the house because that space looks good and now everything else just looks bland. So expect more room makeovers, DIYs, home decor, all of that in the future. I have so much planned, and so thank you guys for following me. I hope you liked it. If you guys enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. I think I may never paint again.
This is my bad side, bro. You're not gonna have this part in there, are you?
No, probably not. I'm gonna cut off.
Probably not.